1A hemoglobin, 1B platelets, 1C 9.3, 3 megapixels. 1 selection of correct values from table. MP2 correct calculation to any number of significant figures. MP3 correct rounding to 2 significant figures. 1 CII any 3 from. Salt solution has a lower water potential than the red blood cells. Diameter decreases because water leaves the red blood cells by osmosis. Water travels from higher water potential to lower water potential down a water potential gradient across the cell partially permeable membrane. 1 CE any 1 from. Water potential of red blood cells is the same as the salt solution. No, net overall movement of water across membrane in or out of cell. 1D red blood cells do not have a rigid cell wall. 1E any 2 from. Transport of ions, sucrose translocation. As a reactant used in photosynthesis. As a solvent, substances dissolve in it. Medium for chemical, enzyme, metabolic reactions. Support maintaining turgidity of cells, maintaining turgor. Pressure prevent wilting, e.g. cooling, temperature regulation. Germination, elongation of cells and growth. 2I, minus 13.28%, 3 megapixels. 1 for correct selection of data from table 2.1. Equals 1.111.28 or minus 0.17. MP2 correct calculation minus 0.17 or 1.11. 1. 28 over 1.28 100 or minus 13.28125. MP3 answer rounded correctly to 2 decimal places with a minus sign. 2AII 5 from. Potato cube in 0.8 moles DM3 solution loses greater percentage mass. Movement of water out, loss of water, is cause of mass loss. Water moves from an area of high water potential to an area of low water potential. Water potential of 0.8 moles DM3 solution is lower than the water potential of the 0.6 moles DM3 solution. Greater, steeper, water potential gradient in 0.8 moles DM3 than in 0.6 millimeters DM3. Relatively more water leaves the potato cube in 0.8 moles DM3 solution. 2AE any 2 from. Cell is swollen, larger, bigger, wider. Cell is turgid. Vacuole is swollen, larger, bigger, wider. Cell wall bulges. Cell membrane, cytoplasm, cell contents, presses on cell wall. 2B any 3 from. Uses energy from respiration, mitochondria. Transport movement is against a concentration gradient. Involves movement of sugars, ions, substances other than water. Involves protein carriers. 2C root hair cells. 2D. Leaves are yellow, leaves show chlorosis. Magnesium required for making chlorophyll. 1A. Feature active transport diffusion movement of particles always occurs across a cell membrane. Molecules moving during gas exchange. Rate of movement of particles is higher when the concentration gradient is larger. Requires energy from respiration. 1B. Any 3 from. For ion, uptake, absorption. Ion concentration lower in the soil than in the root cell. Movement against the concentration gradient. Creates a water potential gradient. Named example of ion e.g. nitrate, magnesium. 3I any 3 from. Blue at time 0 indicates no glucose present. Ensures that no glucose on outer surface of dialysis tubing, in water, as a result of an error. Green, yellow, red, indicates presence of glucose. Glucose, diffuses, moves, out of dialysis tubing, into water. Movement is down the concentration gradient, high to low concentration. Dialysis tubing is permeable to glucose. 3AII idea that Benedict's solution changes color quicker gives more intense color. 3B. Are microvilli. Function. Allow movement of substances into the cell, increase surface area for absorption by diffusion or active transport, have proteins in the membrane for active transport. B is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, RER. Function. Site of protein synthesis, modify proteins, assemble amino acids in a specific sequence to make name protein. C is a mitochondrion. Function. Aerobic respiration provides energy for named cell processes. 3C chloride. 3CII any 4 from. Loss of water. By osmosis down water potential gradient. Diarrhea. Dehydration. Loss of other, named ions, salts.